All right. Just want to do a short video on this Louisiana theater shooting. I mean, it had the Trainwreck movie that we talked about previously to do with Philadelphia and whatnot. So we knew something. This movie was foreshadowing something, definitely. But I just want to mention a few things that I hadn't seen on other videos or whatever. There's a lot of good video, or not a lot. I've only seen a couple, but um, if you go watch Zachary K. Hubbard's video, he has two of them up that are explain it all. I mean, really, I don't need to make a huge video of it. But anyway, here's some thoughts. So anyway, the guy who was the shooter or whatever was this 59-year-old John Russell Hauser. And if you add his name up in simple gematria, it's 239. We've talked about 52. The 52nd prime is 239. Tons of stuff with 52. Maybe I'll just leave a note again so you understand what I'm talking about. It's so much to talk about, it'll take way too long. But if you just do his name as John Hauser, it's 52 and 133. Just like a whole bunch of this other stuff that I've talked about with the Pope. He's from South America. We had the gay marriage thing. Tons of other stuff. Even Bernie Sanders, the big guy that everyone's been talking about on Facebook, how they love him so much, and it's all a big joke. But Zach Johnson just won the Open, the British Open, and his name adds up to 52 and 133 as well. And also interesting, he won this on 7/20, and it was the 144th Open, and it was at St. Andrews. That was the course, and it was named after St. Andrew, or Andrew the Apostle, right? St. Andrew. And his feast day is November 30th. So if you go from the day that Zach Johnson won to the feast day, it's 133 days away. I mean, what are the odds? It's 133 days away, and his name even adds up to 133. Another thing, the original story that I read on Yahoo, and I can only find it on Yahoo. Every other story, CNN, tons of other websites, they all spell Russell with two L's, but on the Yahoo one, it was spelled with one L. Here, I'll pull it up really quick. And right here's a picture of it, John Russell with one L. And in the story, they actually say that too. Just wanted to point that out. But why it's interesting then is because 227 is the 49th prime number. I've talked about this number like crazy. If you do it as a date, it's literally February 27th, which is Valentine's Day on the Julian calendar. It's also pi. I mean, if you go back and watch my videos months ago, I talked about this tons and tons of times. So anyway, I also just randomly thought of the country singer Randy Houser because I DJ and people want to hear this guy sometimes, and it just instantly thought of Randy Houser, the Running Out of Moonlight song or whatever. But I mean, kind of interesting. We got the blood moon and whatnot coming up, Running Out of Moonlight. But this guy's real name is Sean Randolph Hauser. And if you add his name up, it's literally 239 as well. So interesting, I guess. Doesn't have to mean anything. It's just kind of weird. So anyway, the most interesting thing I wanted to talk about was that movie Trainwreck or whatever. We've talked about the movie and what it has to do with this Philadelphia train wreck that happened on May 12th. So the day of the train wreck in Philadelphia to the day that the shooting happened, 7/23, it's 72 days away. So the day of the Philadelphia train wreck then, and then this movie was called Trainwreck, right? That came out. And if you go to the day that it came out, or the day that the shooting happened, 7/23, it's a span of 72 days apart. And so this guy's name adds up to 52 and 133, also 239, but 52 and 133. And this is the day, 133 is significant because that's the day that the Pope became Pope, 13-3, or March 13th, in 2013 even. And also, what's even more interesting about that, so this was 72 days apart. March 13th, the day that the Pope became the Pope, is the 72nd day of the year. So, I mean, what are the odds that, it's 133 and then 72nd day, the guy who shoots it adds up to 133, and he shoots it at the movie Trainwreck, and we talked about the significance of that with the Philadelphia, like way back before this movie even came out. So, I mean, and then it was 72 days away from the train wreck. Give me a break. We've also talked about, so 239 can also be 923 then, right? And we've talked about 923 being a significant date foreshadowed in movies, films, or movies, the media. I mean, just everything. It's been coded in tons and tons of stuff. Like something is going to happen that day. The Pope is coming. It's also the 266th day of the year. The Pope is the 266th Pope. Like I said, 923 is the 266th day of the year. But 133 plus 133 is 266 even. But anyway, so the span of 723 to 923 is 62 days. And this number is severely coded with Queen Elizabeth II. And I mean, I'll leave a note for this too. You know, she was coronated on 6/2, 62 years ago. Became the queen on 2/6 of when, and then she turned 26 that year or whatever. She was born in 1926. There's a ton of stuff with it. It all 52 and 62 all kind of go together. But the last video I made, I talked about 9/9 being a super significant date. It's the day that Queen Elizabeth will become the longest reigning British monarch of all time, and also the longest reigning woman monarch ever. Not even just British or English. I might have said British before, but English/British. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyway. So if you add, not 66. These are supposed to be 99. Since it was 9/9, I added 99 days and subtracted 99 days. And if you add 99 days to 9/9, it takes you to 12/17, which is Pope Francis's birthday. I mean, weird. And then if you go subtract 99 days, it takes you to 6/2, the day of the Queen's coronation. Also, 6/2 to 923 is a span of 113 days. And September 9th, it is the 252nd day. 252 like the mirrors. So I'm telling you, it's super coded. And then there's 113 days left until the end of the year. You even have, like, I've talked about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan adds up to 113. He is 52 years old. Michael Jordan, the first time he retired was on October 6th or 10/6 or 106 in 93 it was. But then I talked about the capital of Jordan in the country right now. It was only it was named Philadelphia until the year 106 AD, and the Pope is coming to Philadelphia. The train wreck, I mean, it's so coded. Then it came under Roman control, and the Roman Empire was founded by Augustus, and he was born on September 23rd of 63 BC. So, I mean, significant dates and all of that. So, anyway, one other thing I wanted to show here was, so, let's see here. 313 or 133 is the 72nd day, and if you go to add 72 days to that, it's 524, the 144th day. And talked about this day because the 144th prime number is 827, and 827 is the 239th day of the year. So, I mean, like I'm saying, it all goes back to all of this stuff that's 923. But then if you add 72 days to 524, it takes you to Obama's birthday, which is the 216th day, 6 times 6 times 6, 216. But then 72 days after Obama's birthday is October 15th, 288th day. But I've talked about this day before. I think it's a real significant day also. Not sure what's going to happen or if anything, but from the Queen's birthday to it is 177 days. The 177th day is 6/26, like the mirrors, 62 and 26. And that's also the day gay marriage was legalized. Also, it's the 89th Catholic World Mission Day, and the Queen is 89 years old this year. We've talked about how it's all to do with Obama, the Queen, and the Pope, it seems like they've been very significant in all of the coding. So interesting of the days here. And then the 89th Catholic World Mission Day is on this day as well. It's also the very first day ever of the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar started 433 years ago, and the 433 is the 84th prime, kind of like Obama's birthday, 84. So, I mean, who knows if anything's going to happen. Just, I feel like I've been seeing 72. It's like not necessarily being directly coded, but all of these 62s and 52s, somehow they always lead back to a 72. And I talked about that before. I don't know, like, I mean, it's the 7-7 or whatever. Also, yeah, even the mirror date of 626, it's the 177th day with 188 left, and 7-7 is the 188th day with 177 left, the mirror date. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is, so this shooting, it happened on the very first day of the dog days of summer. And we've talked about how a lot of this goes back to Lupercalia. I've talked about it for months now. Everything has to do with Lupercalia and Valentine's. And Lupercalia is, it's a dog festival or whatever, or a wolf or whatever. But the dog days of summer here, I'll show you if I can pull it up. It says, in ancient Rome, the dog days ran from July 24th through August 24th, or alternatively from July 23rd through August 23rd. So interesting, the shooting happens on the beginning of the dog days of summer. Even had Michael Jordan's dad who died on this day. But I went back to Lupercalia then and just kind of reread through it. I feel like I missed some stuff, or maybe there was some extra stuff that I didn't pick up on the first time I kind of read through here. But I did find something interesting about the Queen, kind of. So Lupercalia Festival was partly in honor of Lupa, the she-wolf who suckled the infant orphans Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, explaining the name of the festival, Lupercalia, or Wolf Festival. And basically what they did was, it says they sacrificed 2 male goats and a dog, and whatever. Then they pulled off the skin of the animals, and then they whipped women so they would be fertile or whatever. So anyway, it even talks about, in a well-known one was in 44 BC, and interesting that Julius Caesar died in that same year or whatever. But it talks about the founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus. And so Augustus founded the Roman Empire, was born on September 23rd. So I figured, let's look at Romulus and Remus. So basically they were just twin brothers who, kind of like the Oedipus story, whatever. They got put down the river because this guy didn't want his power seized, and this wolf suckled them and kept them alive. And then they got older, and they basically became powerful or whatever. And Romulus killed his brother Remus, and then he founded the new city and called it Rome. But so, whatever, nice story and all, but what I found interesting was, it says that none of the historians and whatnot agreed on the year that Rome was founded, but they all agreed that the city was founded on April 21st, the day of the festival sacred to Pales, goddess of shepherds, blah, blah, blah. But that's also Queen Elizabeth's birthday. So I guess just interesting that Rome was founded on April 21st, and that was the same day Queen Elizabeth II was born. I've talked about how this day is a really significant day. It really codes up to a lot of things. She became queen even 74 days before her birthday. 74 days after her birthday is July 4th, 7-4. There's just a lot of things that this date is just special. And now it makes even more sense that Rome was founded on April 21st. I mean, even her birthday to 9/23, 155 days, but 5 months, 2 days. That's the 52 that we talked about she's seriously coded with. Also 22 weeks, 1 day, 2/21. 2/21 is the 52nd day of the year. She's 89 years old this year. 8/9 is the 221st day. Whatever, gonna leave it at that. I actually thought this was going to be short, just ended up making it 15 minutes. So have a great night.